Ladies fans, welcome to Before the Bounce for round 8. An exciting one against Fremantle, a rematch of the prelim final that never happened. You must be looking forward to that, Lib.
Yeah, can't wait. I can't believe it's almost been a year since we were meant to be playing Fremantle in that prelim. So yeah, really excited to head over there and have a real good crack.
The tunes are going here. They're testing the MCG speakers for round 1 of the men's competition.
What are you talking about? It's from Before the Bounce.
Absolutely. They got the show going. But last week's game against the Crows is what I want to talk about firstly, because Mick Stinney said it was the best win this club's ever had. You must have enjoyed being a part of that. Yeah,
it was so much fun. When a team plays like such a amazing team performance out on the ground, it was just so great to be a part of, and we're really excited for what we can bring going forward, because we know that there's so much more we can do.
Yeah, it was good to see that we can match it with the top teams in the comp, and I think it was all about the competitiveness, scrapping for the ball and being really tough out there, in the wet in particular.
Yeah, we didn't put up with anything that Adelaide were going to give us. And as you can see, there's one clip in particular where we all go in to bat for each other in the last quarter against McGee, got tackled to the ground, and we all got in there and helped her up. So it just shows that we're really developing our maturity when it comes to that.
That game has put us well inside the top 6. We're in 6th position with 5 wins, but there's still a little bit to play out this season. So we've got Fremantle and Brisbane coming up. We could still finish top 2. We could still miss the 6. Bulldogs are in 7th, Carlton are in 8th. You'd think they'd need to win both those games, but anything can happen at this point of the year, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it's a cliche, but you really got to control what you can control.
1 week at a time.
1 week at a time. And this week's what we're focusing on, and that's what we can really work on.
As we take a look at our 21 for this week, what I want to talk about is the even contribution. So last week in particular, it was really important how every single girl across the whole side contributed, not just the superstars of this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've seen that across the season and across our wins, that when we do have even contribution across the team, we get the right result.
One girl I think we should mention is Eden Zanker. She's had a different role in the past few weeks. So obviously a superstar key forward. She's chopped out in the ruck at times, but she was thrown in the midfield. She had 23 touches against the Saints, 16 against Adelaide last week, and her input's been fantastic, hasn't it? Yeah,
one thing you can really see in Eden's game is she gets so many metres for us with the footy. Particularly last week in the wet, her big kick got us forward and forward momentum. So she's been really crucial for us, and she's a dominant ball winner. You just don't want to come up against her because she'll win it every time.
Another young gun is Eliza McNamara. Got the Rising Star nomination last week and had a little bit of a trick played on her on Tuesday night.
Yeah, she got a few stars on her back from the Rising Star. Yeah, she's just been a wonderful asset to this group, and the future is bright going forward for the Melbourne Demons with players like her. And just a little fun fact, she gets over 1,400 metres of high speed a game, which is nearly double what the men do. So she's an absolute little legend.
What are your high speed metres?
Oh, at fullback it's only about 450, so I've got a bit of work to do.
We have to take a look at our opposition. Fremantle, top of the table, probably the best side in the competition. They're the benchmark, and we haven't played them since round 1 in 2019, where they got the better of us by 4 points at Casey Fields. But it's some of their superstars that I want to talk about first. They've got Kiara Bowers. She's number 1 in the comp for tackles, clearances, kicks. And they've got, of course, Gemma Houghton, who's leading the competition with 12 goals. 2 girls that are really hard to stop.
Yeah, like Bowers, she's just been a player that's been there in the competition, so consistent for so long. And so it's going to be really hard to stop her throughout the midfield. She's an absolute battler and a machine for them. And Houghton, she's had a fantastic year. You can't take her for granted at all. She's an absolute weapon for them in the forward line, particularly with 12 goals, and she just pops out of nowhere and can kick them.
Freo have been consistent for a long period of time. They showed a little bit of a hiccup last week against Carlton. They kicked 3 goals in 2.5 minutes in the last quarter to pinch that game, but showed some sort of vulnerabilities. Can we tap into that?
Yeah, definitely. I think when they're cold, particularly in their first quarters, we need to get a good start on them. But they've proven that they're a really good side, and they can come back within 2-3 minutes within a game, and their forwards are super powerful, so we really need to be careful.
A big advantage for them is, of course, playing in Perth. We have the trip on Saturday, a 3-day trip. You must be looking forward to a bit of a bonding time for the girls.
Yeah, I think we've really missed going away together. I know for our round 1 trip at Gold Coast, it was fly up, fly back on the same day, and we really didn't get time to bond, which you do when you stay overnight in hotels and things like that. So it'll be really fun to just relax, have a great game, but also, enjoy some time together.
A 3-hour time difference as well. Does that play on the mind at all heading into a game over in Perth?
Yeah, it's certainly a factor. that we need to consider and prepare for. And I know David Regan, our high performance manager, is all over that for us. So we've got to put that trust in him.
He'll love a shout out too, Regs. Now, in terms of things for you to look out for, I want to talk about the tackling intensity last week. This is sustainable against any side in the competition. It's just getting more girls to the ball and really putting the pressure on. Did you feel like that was a key to last week's win?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've kind of identified over the last couple of weeks with our wins that it's definitely just a mindset. Tackling is just a mindset. If we want to choose to be super defensive and put pressure on our opponents, you know, it's very easy to do. It doesn't require much skill. And we've definitely found that if we have that mentality, we can put pressure on teams early.
You had a weather update for us last week. What's in store this week?
Well, last week we had a lot of rain and it was quite chilly. This week's a maximum of 35 degrees and some slight winds from the southwesterly. So it'll be really interesting to see how we cope with the two different temperatures.
Going to have to adjust. Good luck for that one, Liv.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben.
That is at Fremantle Oval at 6:10 Melbourne time on Sunday afternoon. Look forward to tuning into that.